Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Sully Squad. We're a little bit of I don't know. I guess a little. I wouldn't say mourning, but Eagles had some humble pie yesterday, Sean.
Yeah, they did. We take that L, we move on. We don't cry like the whiners, and that's about it. Just prepare for the Cowboys, but like people in Philly like to say, the Cowgirls. So. That's what we got to prepare for, So what's up, man?
No, nothing much. Yeah, so we got a lot to get into. Obviously, we're going to recap the Niners game. My man Diego Fuji's out tonight, it looks like. But my man Diego, Mr. 6 for 6, he should be on in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll have him hop on. But yeah, man, tough game. And like you said, man, tough game. I have right here a crushing L. I mean, you come into the game. The Eagles have been kind of tempt and fade. I mean, they have had a really tough schedule. They were finding ways to win football games, and yesterday we went against a team that's just, right. I have to say, listen, I'm not saying the Eagles can't beat the 49ers, but the 49ers definitely look like the class of the National Football League. I mean, they demolished Dallas, they demolished us, and they look like the class of the league right now. But thank God the season is not over yet. What's your thoughts, Sean?
I couldn't agree more with what you said. It's thank God it's still a regular season. 2, they were well coached. They had a game plan where we looked like the kid in the field that was lost. Didn't know how. For damn sure, we didn't know how to tackle. Like I told you earlier, we're lacking in linebacker depth. Secondary, you don't know who's who. You got Darius Slay giving so much cushion to these wide receivers. It's not even funny. And then he calls out Seth Joyner on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You need to keep your mouth shut. Seth Joyner keeps it real. He tells you like it is. You don't sugarcoat it. We just basically got manhandled, and back to the drawing board, like I said, for this Dallas game. But one thing for damn sure, they better tackle the hell out of the guy Sunday. So he was atrocious.
So here's the thing that worries me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the game, we had these worries. I mean, first off, the things that the 49ers do, the Eagles struggle with. Coming into the game, we were worried about Christian McCaffrey, right? We were worried about Deebo Samuel. We were worried about George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched the game, and other than the first 2 drives, the 49ers scored every single possession, a touchdown on 6 consecutive.
6 possessions, yep. Mm-hmm.
That's almost unheard of. I mean, that's where like the lack of linebacker play really comes back to haunt you.
There you go.
And Deebo Samuel, I mean, hey, my man talked a lot of shit, and the bottom line,
but he backed it up.
No one blew him up. No one blew him up, and and he basically he shit all over us, bro.
Absolutely. Now, if you think about it, if this was the Jimmy Johnson days, who's making him eat his words? B-Dog, all those guys. But that wasn't the case, man. Like you said, Joey, linebacker depth was not there. We should have ran the nickel, had more of like Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, but that's for another day,
But here's the problem with that, Sean. I'm going to get to a couple comments in a minute, but here's the problem with that. The Niners are one of the few teams in football that actually use a fullback. So they had Juszczyk in there a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Then you got Kittle, which plays into the Eagles' weakness because the Eagles suck at linebacker.
Bingo. Yeah.
Well, when the Niners go to that type of personnel, the Eagles are stuck playing a couple linebackers on there, and the Eagles don't want to play 2 linebackers, but they had to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I mean, we just were out coached, and we didn't have that good of a game plan. You know.
Yeah. Got a couple comments here. John Michael says Brian Johnson had a solid first 2 drives and immediately went away from everything he did on the drives. He's a huge problem for us going into the playoffs. What's your thoughts on that, Sean? You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier before the show, you got to establish something. If you're going to run the ball, run the ball. Stop going hopscotching things, going back and forth. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, he kind of. It's not the Shane Steckland. It's Brian Johnson. You don't know what to expect from him. He's so unpredictable in my eyes. And I'm hoping he kind of changes it up this week and has a game plan for Dallas. You?
Yeah, well, you know what the problem with Johnson is that, like, I don't know. I feel like even when the Eagles are scoring points, I feel like a lot of times there's no continuity. Like for instance, like there was weeks the Eagles would score like 30 points, and it would be like Jalen and AJ making a play. You know what I mean? Devontae Smith making a play. But like, like where's the read option? You know what I mean? Like, where's the read options? Where's the play action passes? Where's like a nice play action? And maybe setting something up, or here's a thought: like you run a bubble screen. He loves throwing the bubble screens to wide receivers. How about like a deep pass off of that? You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Or
mix it up, a nice little flea flicker. Do something. But you're right; it's so almost times vanilla because you know what the hell they're going to do. It's not, So, but
Mike Laura with a comment here. This I was actually thinking of this yesterday, to be honest with you. He says, just keep in mind we also won 40-8 one time during the regular season, and then we went from 7-2 to 7-9, 1994.
True. Yeah.
Paul Spencer with a comment here. Niners owning the NFC East so far. Giants 30-12, Cowboys 42-10, Eagles 42-19. Commanders up next. Yeah, they're gonna demolish the Commanders. John Michael has here, did we run any RPOs at all? If we did, I didn't really see any. Although the one thing I will say, well, first off, I thought the big key in the game was the Eagles not getting touchdowns in the red zone. Like those first 2 drives, we dominated the first quarter, but only got 6 points out of it. And you knew that, like, once that happened, you knew the Niners were coming down the answer. You know what I'm saying? Got a comment here.
Perfectly said.
When you run a fullback set, it's a 26-point lead. End hits linebacker, and the fullback hits the end hole wide open. We run it when linebackers are soft, especially with McCaffrey. Yeah.
And they run it so good because Usek, if I'm saying it right, he's a hell of a blocker, and he can catch out of the backfield. So.
Yeah, Mike Laura said they missed Dallas Goedert.
Oh, absolutely. That guy, Albert O, I'm not going to butcher his last name. He was the invisible man. Him and Stoll.
Yeah, but hang on a second. I got our man Diego's about to hop on here. So hang on. Let me get Diego on here. Hang on. And one more thing. Diego. Yeah. What's up, Diego? Real quick, because we're going to get more in the Eagles, but my man Diego is a man of many talents, and I just got to give him a shout out right here. So here we go, right here. Diego, Mr. 6 for 6. Now, anybody in the Jersey area that's looking for a house, my man Diego is going to get you hooked up. So make sure you hook him up. Not only will he help you get a crib, but you could also bullshit about the Eagles game too. So check it out. Congrats to Diego for becoming joining the what's that say, Diego? Remax Revolution?
The Ocean 6 group in Monmouth County. So, if you need anything in the Jersey area, just contact me, and I can help you with anything you need.
That's right, and there's probably a lot of Giants fans out there, so maybe you could talk some, maybe you could talk some shit to them about the sports too. You know what I'm saying? So how
So
you
what's
doing,
up, guys?
bro?
How you doing?
Hanging in there, man. You know, just chalk up this loss and let's move on. Don't whine like the other fans in the league and just focus on Dallas, like I told Joey. You know,
Well,
it's Dallas.
getting Shaq Leonard definitely eases that blow a little bit.
Absolutely. You got some, I mean, we'll talk about it more, but now you got some kind of leadership in there at the linebacker and a guy that knows how to pass cover too and play the position, you know, unlike the other guys we had who were like three blind
Pretending.
mice.
Yeah, they're pretending to be linebackers.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what you get when you got guys that haven't played as much as your Ellis and your Van Summeren. You know, at least they tried, but they're no linebackers that you want to start.
Well, let's be real. We can never kill Haley, but this is the product of not paying linebackers.
I think the time, you're right. And I think first and foremost, we definitely have to address linebackers in the draft because you got Jeremiah Tribe Jr. from Clemson. I mean, I could talk all day about that, but you need to get the young guys if that's what we're going to build this team on. Linebackers, a wide receiver, and some fresh corners because I got news for you. Darius Slay, I think he's lost a step.
Bradbury's lost 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's time to move on. I mean, I think everybody can agree.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I just feel like, you know how Debo was talking all that shit?
Mm-hmm.
In any other era of football, the dude goes like if another guy back in the day, he's coming off his player just to rock Debo at least one time.
I said that Dawkins is going to make you pay with his play on the field, like you said, knock his block off, but in good fashion. Where now these guys, it's like, come on.
Chris Rapizzi. I mean, he must be talking about Diego. Diego,
yeah.
You're a stud muffin.
Thanks, Chris. How are you?
And Mike.
Stop! You're making them blush.
And Mike Laura says Mr. 7 for 7, and also hopefully they sign Ertz. I'm cool with Ertz too. Then Rapizzi says, does he have back issues? I don't know. Is he talking
Shaq Leonard? You talk about Shaq Leonard.
Yeah, he had two. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but they said he actually recovered and he passed physicals and everything. So, I mean, he's got to at least be 100% healthy. Whether that slowed him down a step or not, that's to be seen.
The one thing that scared me the most was his. It was 3 years ago. His concussion. He missed the whole season, and he was in a dark room for the whole season. Like, that's how bad his concussion was.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like Chris said, basically his back, he was like some kind of something with his disc, but hey, I want to see him play Sunday. Let's go.
Let's go.
Listen, Shaq Leonard, even with a jacked up back, probably could do better than Morrow did.
Definitely. Morrow had no idea. He didn't know what he was doing. Missed coverages everywhere. Couldn't tackle. He was clueless yesterday.
He thought he was on the practice squad.
Yeah, he looked like he was a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I saw a stat. I saw a stat. The last 2 weeks, teams had 33 third downs, and teams are 22 out of 33 against the Eagles on third down between Buffalo and San Francisco. And then I'm looking here. 49ers average 8 yards per play. So literally 8 yards per play. 456 total yards. I mean, we just had no way. Niners were 8 out of 11 on third down. That's insane, bro. And like we were talking earlier about Brian Johnson and like the play calling and stuff. And believe me, that left a little bit to be desired in some spots. But I got to keep it real. I don't really think yesterday was necessarily a Brian Johnson game. To me, it's hard to get a rhythm going on offense when teams are getting 8 for 11 on third down. You're not getting off the field.
Right. You're not getting the ball enough.
You know?
Yeah, Shanahan definitely exposed Desai. Like Desai was also lost. You know.
Yeah.
with what he had on the field.
John Michael says, "Is there any chance Sirianni takes over play calling? We aren't getting Reich in the middle of the season." See, the problem with that though is, if you guys remember Sirianni's first year, he was. I think they weren't really running it. They weren't running enough in the beginning of the year, and he gave up play calling to Shane Steichen or whatever, and the offense took off. So I don't know if having Sirianni calling plays really is that good of a thing.
Right.
Yeah, just like Chris said, how about Swift getting lit up?
He shouldn't have been on the
got his
field.
bell rung.
Yeah.
It was clean hit, but hopefully he recovers from it. But yeah, man, what a hell of a hit. That was a pop.
He shouldn't have been on the field.
Oh, half the guys shouldn't have been on the field. And once again, back to coaching. You blame Sirianni. Why the hell are you on the field? But
yeah, but anyway, hey, listen. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the 49ers game, but we got a huge. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I was gonna say in a minute we'll get into we'll get into the Dallas game in a few minutes. But any other takeaways from this Niners game? I mean, other than all right, here's one. I mean, we were, like I said, Sean and I were talking about this earlier. Like everything that we were concerned about, they did. Like McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. Now, my question is, and we were talking about this at work earlier. Just because the Eagles got their ass kicked yesterday, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again. Like I brought up the 2008 Eagles. We beat Arizona's ass Thanksgiving. Go to the championship game. They beat us. Then the 2010 Jets, they lost like 45-3 up at New England. And in the playoffs, they went to New England, and Mark Dirty Sanchez went there and beat them. So, what's your guys' take, though?
What's the first thing I text you after that loss? We can beat that team. Like, yeah, right. San Fran looked good. They scored 5 touchdowns in a row, but it wasn't like the Eagles couldn't move the ball. If the Eagles cash in 2 touchdowns early on, I think we're talking about a whole different game. Yes. We gave them a little bit of life. They're like, dude, we got our ass kicked that quarter, and it's only 6-0. If it's 14-0, they're not as up as they are at 6-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No. You guys are right, and basically, like look at John Michael right here. He says this season comes down to next week. We beat Dallas, and we most likely are end up with the number 1 seed, and the goodwill and excitement will come back. This week is huge. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And by the way, to touch on this Dallas game, I was on our chat. Obviously, we know my man Paul's a huge Dallas fan. Dave Yarnell, they do the We Dem Boys podcast, and I see my man Paul is backstage right here. So I want to pull him on for a second because I called out due to this showdown. All right, I called him out yesterday on the stage. I put it out there. I said who? I said, you know what? We're doing the jersey bet. So now if the Paul, first off, Paul, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Sorry about your Eagles yesterday, but it's only one game, man. It's not a big deal. Season's not over. Like a lot of Eagles fans out there saying it's over, it's done. One game, brother, man. Listen, the top 2, you got beat by a better team. So what? Who cares? Move on. But doing great, guys. How you guys doing? Diego, Sean, Joe?
Sean, man.
Yeah, wait, hang on. Wait, somebody's got a comment here.
Yeah.
Chris Rapizzi said you got poop on your hat.
It's been there for 27 years, brother. It's stained now, so I can't do anything about
it. And Chris Rapizzi asked any information about Dom. Sean, have you heard anything or not?
Nah, nothing at all.
Yes, supposedly he may get fined or suspended. But anyway, all right. So next week's game. All right. I can't take any more talking about yesterday because the bottom line is, let's keep it real. I mean, we got our asses whooped. We got our asses whooped. Y'all got your asses whooped a few weeks back. You got Dak Prescott's playing at an MVP level. I know I'm very concerned about next Sunday. But I put my balls on the table and I called you out. So for everybody out there, if I have to wear a Dallas jersey, it's because of a bet. So I have the Eagles next week, and if the Eagles lose, I gotta rock a Dallas jersey at one of the next shows. But if the Eagles win, my man Mr. Cowboy over here, he's going to take that poop off his head, and he's going to have to wear an Eagles jersey. So we got huge ramifications here at Out of the Box Sports over this game.
And if you're scared, go get a dog.
That's right.
Well, I just got a cat. So I hope that counts a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
But anyway,
I respect it, man. Listen, we did this bet before, with the bet with the Romo jersey. You went out and bought one. I respect that. And here at Out of the Box, it's all about fun. So it's good humor. It's good, battering back and forth. So it's all respect. I haven't worn an Eagles jersey since, 1996 was the last time I wore an Eagles jersey. I swear, I hope it's not the first time again after 27 years, but I'll do what I have to do, Jeff.
That was the year, too, that VHS was out, right?
Well, yeah, that was the last year of our Super Bowl champs. So I still have that DVD, that VHS there, too. So, you know what? Hey,
yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mike Lauro said you're going to look good in green, Paul.
Hey, you know what? Everybody says
they're bringing out your eyes.
Hey,
we already beat you once this week. Shaq Leonard chose the Eagles over Dallas.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a good pickup for you guys. Of course, that's your weakness right there, linebacker. We already seen that, guy playing that linebacker hole. But is he going to be up for the scheme? I know it's a different verbiage, a new system. Talent-wise, yes, but does he fit into the scheme after 5 days of practice, honestly? That's I'm really not.
Shit, if he can cover,
he's going to fit in better than them other guys. Them other guys are
True.
That's the main thing, because our three linebackers were a lost cause. Van Sumeren, a second-year guy and a rookie. What do you expect? You don't expect them to set the world on fire, but boy, was it a shit show.
Yeah, that's what teams are doing. They're going after your linebacker play. I mean, with Lamb, just like you guys said at the beginning of the show, Dak's playing elite right now, but what Dak are we going to get? But the greatest thing is McCarthy's calling the game right now. He's not, going for the run pass. He's being balanced. It's just like you said, Joe, Sean, drain the well. If it's working, stay with it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're not doing this bullshit play calling we're used to with McCarthy and Dak. We're not used to it. So we're playing great ball right now. Take what the defense gives you, move on, get a win.
Yeah.
John Michael with an interesting question. I want to get all your guys' perspectives on this. He said, with both teams being good and both having a shot at the number one seed, this is the biggest Eagles-Dallas game in a long time. When's the last Eagles-Dallas game this big? I mean, for myself, I think I'd have to say maybe 2019, the game here, because that was for the division kind of. But I don't know. What's your guys' perspectives?
Go ahead,
I would say 2019 probably.
Yeah,
especially in my lifetime.
2019, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I agree. I think 2019. I'll be honest with you. You guys know I keep it real, but to me, it's a little bit scary with this game because the Eagles, the advantage is we're playing at home. We play better on turf. We already know that. Our team is a lot better on turf. We play better there. But if it was in Philadelphia, I would feel totally opposite. But even if it comes, I'm glad that we get you early opposed to the last week of the season, because if the bottom comes down to it, I'm going to go Eagles all the way, because the Eagles are a different breed. Their mentality is different than Dallas Cowboys. But I agree, 2019 was huge, and this means a lot to me. Even if we win, you guys are still in first place, honestly, by statistic wise. We have the same split record head to head. We're fine, but you guys hold the conference record. I believe you guys are 6-3. We're we lost 3 games in the conference.
Yeah,
well,
but
look at you guys at home too.
Technically, we would be a wild card team after losing to Dallas, because you guys would be 4-1 in the division, and we'd only be 3-1 in the division.
Yeah, I understand that technically wise, but I'm just looking at it going forward, because I know you guys are going to lose out, and we're not going to lose out either. So I put you guys ahead, statistically wise to me.
We can say we're going to beat the Giants twice, Arizona and Seattle. That don't mean we're going to.
True. Yeah.
That Seattle game Monday night, to me, it's not going to be an easy. It's not going to be an easy challenge.
No, I don't think any. You can't count any game as an easy challenge. Look at last night, Green Bay, KC. Who would have thought? But
I did.
KC stinks.
Yeah, because I know why, Joey. Because you were talking to that much damn lead.
It's funny. I put it on my Facebook today because Lead calls me yesterday. He's like, "What's the Sunday night game?" I'm like, "Oh, Chiefs and Packers." And he's like, "Oh, that game's going to suck. Kansas City's going to crush them." And I'm like, bro, I'm like the
Thank you.
I was like, the Packers have won like 4 games in a row. So then, I immediately took Green Bay. I was like, thanks, bro.
Damn right.
The Packers
they look determined.
The Packers' record in December since that coach took over, 15-0.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, not to go on an NFL tangent, but let me tell you something. If the Packers get in, I could see the Packers like upsetting a team like the Lions or whatever. Like I could see the Packers actually making a little noise. Not going too far, but I could see them.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that defense is stingy, big time. I mean, the way they got at Mahomes, the wide receivers, they were getting in some players' head like Pacheco. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, Mike. So I want to let's do, since we got Paul on here, let's do a prediction for next week, and then Mike Marinon says Hurts, Swift, Lamb, anytime touchdowns that game. Calling it now. Tell you what, that's actually a pretty good bet. The only one that I think Hurts and Lamb are pretty much almost definites. Swift, I think maybe you try, but Swift always has his touchdowns vultured by Jalen Hurts. That's the only problem with Swift.
I would go Slim Reaper, AJ, and Gainwell. Watch.
Dallas Goedert. Anytime touchdown.
Hopefully
Dallas
he plays,
Goedert. I think he plays this week. I think it's all hands on deck this week. We have to beat Dallas. I'm not saying we're going to beat Dallas. I am super scared of this game, but it's even more important. It's even more important than that San Fran game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Hurts, of course, because once you get inside the 5-yard line, it's an easy touchdown for him. I'm gonna go there. Hurts, Lamb, and I'm gonna go Hendershot because you guys struggle with that tight end. You can't take it away from me until you guys beat it. You know what I mean? So I'm going Hendershot.
Yeah,
last time they played, from Michael's point, he said Diego has to go on against me before. Last time they played, I took a Hurts, Pollard, Lamb anytime touchdown, and he was like, take Swift. And I was like, nah, and it hit. So I went against him before, and that's why he's saying that.
Let me tell you something about last night. I'm glad you guys lost, but I'm more pissed off about Joe. We talked about it in the group chat. Yeah. I did a 17-leg same game parlay for $25 last night. Okay, I hit 16 out of 17. You will not believe the one that I missed, Diego and Sean.
Jalen Hurts rushing yards.
AJ Brown.
Nope. Joe, you know what I'm talking about, correct?
It's even worse. When he tells you, you're going to be like, that was like the most sure thing that he would have won.
This is a guaranteed bet your house, bet your grandma's house, everything in the world. I took the Eagles plus 20 last night, and that's the only freaking line I lost last night.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yes.
How's your pride? How's your pride in your? Oh my God, that's a kick in the balls.
Plus 20.5, and I lost, bro.
Wow,
that's crazy.
I don't think there's anybody in America other than me. Yeah, John. Yeah, you talk about bad beats. John Michael says, "Man, that's right." Brutal.
I was waiting for Scott Van Pelt to hook me up with that's a bad beat right there or something, man. Oh.
Yeah,
and it was for $1,600 too.
Definitely.
Wow. God damn.
Yeah.
I mean that's crazy. And I'll tell you what, man. Paul, I know you got to go probably in a minute, but when you get a bad beat like that, it almost makes you want to get some money. You know what I mean? I'm saying, I know you can't. Unfortunately, like Paul, wouldn't you think that would be a personal injury? I mean, dude, you probably.
That's definitely a personal injury.
I'll tell you what. You know what? Thank God I actually worked for Jason because I almost called that number myself and had myself take the case because I wanted a discount because I brutally got murdered last night on this bullshit. So yeah, 100%, man.
All right. So anyway, so if you have a bad beat like Paul, and you sit there and maybe you put your head through the mirror, or, you break a TV, maybe you break your hand punching the wall. Call my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big L. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or like I said, personal injury. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey, so check them out. See the numbers right there. next week, Philadelphia and Dallas will probably be, and it'll probably be one of the most watched games in the football this year. In fact,
Absolutely.
I'm willing to predict. Actually, you know what? I'll predict right now. I think Eagles Dallas next Sunday night will be the top rated game of the year, because the Eagles are a big draw and Dallas is the biggest draw. So I think it's probably going to be the biggest game. Well, you know, some of these games, like here's one. Diego and I were talking about this. At work. The quality of play in the National Football League has just been fucking shitty. A lot of these games suck. Now, when if you're watching shitty football and you have to stay awake, you might need some coffee. So try the best coffee around is Monkey's Cold Coffee. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. So if you're a New England Patriots fan, you might need that shit, or the Jets. I mean, my God,
6-0.
you talk
6-0, dude.
You talk about two teams that blow. Can you imagine? Putting on your jersey, right, and going to a game, and you got to watch Tim Boyle and fucking Trevor Siemian try to score for you?
They're lighting it up, baby.
Yeah.
the toilet, that is.
You gotta. I mean, you gotta friggin' spike that coffee, bro. You gotta put some heavy alcohol up in that joint.
You're having an Irish coffee. Make it a double.
Yeah. So
that's what you're doing.
All right. So
what do you guys think of the scores, real quick, before I get out of here?
Okay.
Prediction? Yeah, let's do predictions. Go ahead, Sean.
I'll say 28-24 Eagles.
Okay.
I'm going to take 27-24 Dallas. I had this game marked as a loss. I had a split with Dallas. I'm going to stay true to that. I'm going to say 27-24 Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, so I'm really going to be upset about this, because I got a feeling I'm going to be wearing a Tony Romo jersey next week. But Paul, I could be doing a Jedi mind trick on you too.
Hey, don't play my own games on me, Joe. Okay, don't play my own games on me, brother. Okay, come on.
Nah, you know, listen, my honest opinion, and I hope I'm wrong, is I'm thinking Dallas in a shootout. I'm thinking like 35-31 Cowboys.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be high scoring too. I mean, these teams match up, of course, but man, I'm with Diego. I always say you guys split no matter what, unless, you know, like last year it really didn't mean much, of course, so that was a split. But going this year, two teams are matched up really well, offense versus offense here. I'm thinking it's a high shooting game here. I'm actually gonna go 38-34 Cowboys this week here.
God damn it.
I think so.
What's that again? Say it again.
What's my score?
Yeah. No, John Michael says he thinks we go into full panic mode. I mean,
oh, dude. You know what?
I mean, the Eagles haven't lost 2 games in a row in over 2 years. So, I mean, there would be a lot of tight sphincters here in this area.
Yeah, I'm 38-34, Sean. That's where I'm going to go. I think it's high.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a shootout, because if Dallas stays true to what they do on offense, you know, defensively we match up well. Game 1, we pretty much stopped A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Contained them. I want to say that. Contained them, not stopped them. But I think it's going to be the same little poison there. But on offense, we know we can put up points. And moving CD in the slot outside, and Cooks is showing up now. Gallup's still MIA, but Hendershot's, you know, proven that we can play a three-phase offense, intermediate and long range. That's something the Eagles struggle with. I know we can put up points, but can we shut down this offense? But the biggest thing is DeAndre Swift being hurt a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to be 100% either.
Yeah, Adam Glenn says Joe is the mayor of Negadelphia. Actually, that's actually funny. Diego and I were talking about this week. I usually always pick the Eagles. I'm usually
Joe. If anything, I'm the negative one. I pick them to lose. I pick them to lose like 4 weeks in a row.
You are. Damn you.
Oh, okay.
G Ball says 31-20 Dem Boys. Let's see. Adam, terrible mix of words. I don't know what that means. Yeah. See, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that is encouraging me. I'll do a little positivity about the Eagles, though. Here is the fact that, as good as your defense is, every time you guys played a team that's over 500, you give up about 35 points.
And go to what you said, Joe. The biggest thing is if you look at the records, we play down the teams. I want to say under 500 teams. We hold them against the run, but when we play a solid team, that running game can be exploited on the Dallas Cowboys, even though their front four is good. They give up
but they're
a lot.
undersized. That's why they get exploited by these good teams, because good teams usually have good offensive lines. Dallas' defense is great. Dallas' defense is great. They're small.
They're sweet.
So you can overpower them. But you can overpower them, kind of like San Fran did, kind of like the Eagles did down the stretch in the last time they played, then you can get at them in the run game. But if you don't have a stellar offense, then their speed just beats you off the line all the time, and they're in the backfield all game.
Right, that's true. I mean, the Eagles versus Cowboys, that's going to be exactly what's going to happen. The game is going to be in the one in the trenches. Just like you said with Dallas, they are small on the defensive line. They're fast. That's the thing. They consistently do stunts, twists to get inside the pressure. If they don't do that with a solid offensive line, it could be a longer day getting after Hurts. They got to keep Hurts in the pocket and get away from that RPO, because that's when I think he's a lot better. They got to play a balanced game. You can't have Jalen Hurts being a leader rusher every week now. You know what I mean? Look, Gainwell, Scott, whoever's in the backfield needs to get the ball more. But continue, guys, what you guys are doing, because I can't wait for this week, man. And this week, sometime we'll get on the show and we'll do, a session Cowboys Eagles if you guys are up for it this week.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds
good.
Great. Yeah, that sounds great. And real quick, one thing that one thing a bit touching on the offense. If there was one positive in the Eagles game yesterday, it was the fact that the Eagles offensive line dominated the Niners defense. I mean, Blaine Johnson is just a freaking beast. I mean, did you see?
He's a mauler, dude. Yeah,
only got him one time, and Lane even recovered.
When he spun, when he hit with the spin move.
Even Jurgens, Trent Williams. I mean, they stepped up and they played big in a big way, man. So
yeah, dude, but Lane just sticks out because he's always going against the best guy of the other team, like Boza. I'm like, I watched that all game. He just dominated them, just shoving them to the ground every single play, just overpowering them off the snap, the quickest in the league. He's unbelievable.
Diego,
big country, baby, big country.
Diego, go with what you just said right there. He's so fast off the ball last night. I had a Cowboys friend text me last night complaining about this game. I don't bitch about the refs never do. You win, lose, unless it's that bullshit call at the very end of the game to cost the game. Choosing the game which way it flows. But
yeah,
he said to me last night, he's like, man, Lane Johnson is a false start. I was like, no, that dude is just so fast. His leg movement off the ball, he times that so perfectly. And man, I tell you what,
he's got the best kick.
Yep. Yeah. I told my team last night, I highlighted it. I sent it to my team up here, and I was like, take a look at this. This is about preparation and knowing your quarterback's cadence. That's what it is. So damn.
Oh, it is. Yep. If you don't, you're shit out of luck. You're right. You're not going to be on the same cadence.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he said he kind of learned that from Jason Peters, and he's mastered it even better than Jason Peters did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Peters, you have to burn the suit off of him. So a lot of people probably are remembering him the last few years. But I mean, Jason Peters in his prime was like the best tackle in football. And Lane Johnson's taken that medal, and he's just unreal. But listen, Paul, thanks for hopping on. I'm looking forward to the bet. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope you're rocking a nice green Eagles jersey next week. But I would say good luck, but sorry, you're my buddy, but this week I wish you nothing but the worst. Sorry.
I know. Joe, real quick, if I can say one shout out real quick.
Sure.
Yep.
I tagged a certain Dallas Cowboy player this week. He actually messaged me on Twitter. So I was like, look, I'm probably the only Cowboy fan not in Philadelphia out of Dallas that has your jersey. So Rico Dowdy, I bought your jersey. Come on the show, brother. I am rocking the Rico Dowdy jersey. So come on the show, them 215 boys, Wednesday, 9:30. Appreciate it. But Diego, Sean, Joe, you know what? I'll be the better person. That Jedi mind trick, Joe. So just hold on a second. I wish you guys luck, but all three of you, okay?
Stick that where the sun don't shine, baby. Take it easy.
All right, brothers. Take it easy. Enjoy the show.
Later. Yeah.
All right, here I got another comment. That was fun. I got a comment here. Michael Papernick Jr. says the Eagles should bring in a defensive consultant like they did last year to help with Sean Desai as the second set of eyes, like they did last season when they brought in Vic Fangio. What do you guys think of that? I'll tell you real quick. For me, I think it's more a personnel issue myself.
I was going to say I'd be fine with that. I just don't think that's really the issue. I think Desai can only work with what he got, and if you're and Nicholas Morrow, who you're working with, any defensive coordinator would have sucked. Jim Johnson would have sucked.
Yeah. You look at what you're working with, and just look at it like that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said, Diego.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean you watch. I think what was the I think the Niners had let's see, they had 310 passing yards. I think like 220 of them or something like that were like yards after the catch. Like, or maybe you told me, Diego, Brock Purdy didn't throw the ball further than like 15 yards down the field.
16 yards was the furthest he threw the football. Listen, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from San Francisco. San Francisco's great. And I said it earlier, and Joe's going to be, Brock Purdy's trash. You can take any okay quarterback, put him with Kyle Shanahan, and run that offense. He dumps off to Christian McCaffrey all day. He dumps off to Deebo Samuel all day, and them guys bail him out and make him look like an MVP bullshit-ass favorite that he is right now.
See, I like I said, like I said, we were talking about this earlier. I disagree with you when you say the word trash. I do think that Brock Purdy benefits from a great team, benefits from a system. I do agree with you, Diego, that there's a lot of quarterbacks you could put out there in San Francisco.
He's adequate.
He'd be extremely successful. But I think you're shortchanging Purdy just a little bit. I think the
all right. So Brock Purdy on Carolina right now. He might be better than Bryce Young. I mean, Bryce Young looks.
Oh, absolutely. I think he would be, because you're talking about a rookie and what is this, second, third year guy? Yeah, I think he does better than.
I say that
Young.
Team looks exactly the same.
It is I mean, they are a train wreck. I mean, you're right. I mean,
they are, but
I can't really argue.
Okay, ready though, ready, and I guess I can sound like a homer here. Put Jalen on Cleveland. He makes plays to find that team to win some games. Maybe not the best team, but if you put Jalen or Dak Prescott or some quarterbacks that are good quarterbacks, in my opinion, on Carolina right now, maybe they're not a playoff team. They win at least 7 games. You put Purdy on Carolina right now, they're still 1-10.
Well, yeah, you're probably right, but that's not really my. I mean, that's not necessarily my argument.
That's my argument when I say trash. Like right now, I'm going to call Bryce Young trash. If I feel like if I could put Justin Herbert on that team, Burrow on that team, Jalen on that team, Mahomes on that team, Josh Allen on that team, they'll win games. You put Brock Purdy on that team, they don't win games.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You're right there as far as, because Brock Purdy maybe isn't a great individual talent, but you do have to give the guy some credit in the fact that he's making the right decisions to go the right place with the ball. Some quarterbacks would fuck that up.
Yeah,
it's easy when you're only making a 5-yard decision. It's not like he's making decisions down the field when all you got to do is pay attention to 2 guys and throw 5-yard passes. That's not hard decisions to make.
Okay, like Zach Wilson. If you put Zach Wilson on the 49ers, how do you think they'd be due?
I think Kyle Shanahan's a good enough coach where he will put him in position to be just as good as Brock Purdy.
Yeah, see, I disagree.
Yeah, he'll just run plays to McCaffrey. He'll run 5-yard plays to Deebo Samuel. The same shit he did with fucking. See, we're talking about the Jets have a good team. They ain't got that personnel. They ain't got no Christian McCaffrey.
What about
they ain't got
Sam
no Christian
Darnold,
McCaffrey running the ball. They ain't got no Deebo Samuel coming across the field as the best receiver after the catch in the whole entire NFL.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk is a hell of a player. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, the Niners are stacked, man. I mean,
I'm not going to hate the Niners. The Niners are the best team in the NFL. But I will say I think Brock Purdy is trash.
Like the guy Jennings, he came out of nowhere. Yeah, 2 clutch catches. I mean, but yeah, they do have a lot of weapons, like you said. Ayuk, Deebo, Kittle, McCaffrey.
it's like Joe sent me a video of Colin Coward earlier, and I don't agree with that dude at all the time. But when he said he's a product of his environment, I agree with that 100%. Any quarterback playing in San Francisco have reaped the benefits of playing in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, I'm like I said, I guess I'm only arguing with you in the fact that you say he's trash. I just don't think the kid. I think the kid's better than trash. I think Brock Purdy. I don't think he should be an MVP candidate. So I agree with you there. But I think Brock Purdy is a quarterback along the same lines of like a Derek Carr or somebody like a little bit better than maybe like a slightly better than average mid-tier type guy. Like Brock Purdy, maybe he could be maybe the 14th, 15th best quarterback in the league. And in Kyle Shanahan's system, that's good enough to win.
100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking no away from the team. I just take away from him as an individual. I don't think he's that great. MVP favorite, don't agree. But he's not even the most valuable person on his own team.
Maurice Wright says Eagles tanked that game. Great acting, poor tackling. Yeah, they were
definitely
atrocious.
Trash. But again, it's all right. So I want to move on I want to move on to the Sixers real quick before we get out of here. But going forward, though, if we do play them again, what could our answer be? That's the thing I'm concerned about, other than just outscoring them. What could the Eagles like? Do you think Shaq Leonard could make that much of a difference? Where maybe if he's covering Kittle, or if he's covering McCaffrey instead of Morrow, or maybe he's the one that makes the tackle with Samuel. Maybe a guy, maybe that can make all the difference, and maybe the Eagles can actually beat them.
Well, I think the game plan next time you play them is definitely you have to score touchdowns. You can't cash in field goals. So, I think the next time they play, fourth and anywhere from the 7 on, you're going for that.
And if you got to run that ball, like I said earlier to Joey, establish it. Don't get away from it. Run. Not you know what? We ran 3 plays, 2 to Swift, won the game. Well, no, that's not how it fucking works. Run it. Establish it. Don't go to the pass it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
the Eagles 2 losses this year, they dropped back 101 times, and they only ran the ball 23 times.
So what's that tell you?
Run the goddamn ball.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I love to know what DeAndre Swift and even throwing Gainwell, and we got a guy Penny. He's always a healthy scratch for whatever damn reason. It's beyond me. The more legs and hands on that team, give it to them. But once again, we're not the coach, so what the hell do we?
Yeah, I don't think Penny, unless injury, he's seeing the lineup. We've been asking for way too many weeks, and it's just not going to happen. At this point, it's not going to happen.
There's obviously a reason. So for some reason he's not playing. But anyway, yeah. I mean, hey, like I said, we'll next week. Hopefully we're wrapping up a huge win next week.
Damn right.
There is something else kind of big that's happening off the field this week in sports. We have the winter meetings are going on right now. I don't know if you guys. I was on X earlier.
Same here.
And supposedly the Atlanta Braves are still in the mix for Shohei Ohtani. First of all, I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay. Who do you think they give up, Joey? If he's on that table for the Braves, they said, hold that thought, Ozzie Albies is not getting traded. I think that's bullshit. I think they do trade him.
No, Ohtani's a free agent, bro. All they have to do is give up money. I mean, they're actually saying that oh wait, hang on, I got a comment here. Got a 49ers fan. David Garrettson, bang bang Niner gang. Well, hey, you guys. Hey, you listen.
You guys played a good game. We ain't gonna cry. We ain't gonna sit here and cry like you guys did.
Yeah,
we don't cry over here. You guys played a better game. You guys are the better team. That's it. We ain't gonna cry for the next 13 weeks when we play you again.
Yeah, you guys
take our loss and move on.
You got a shot. You guys are the better team right now. but we still got a shot. And we're not whining about, we're not boo-hooing about shit.
And we're the 1 seed. You guys need us to lose to move up in the rankings.
Right.
Just remember this, Diego, like they always say about us. Nobody likes us and we don't care. So let's move on to better things. What were you talking about, Joe?
No, I was saying, so yeah, like Ohtani, I mean, Ohtani's the big free agent. They say he may decide between Toronto, Toronto's in the mix. A few other, the Braves are still talking to him. But possible Phillies moves. I saw the Phillies could possibly make a deal or sign a closer, so that could be a Phillies move possibly.
So I think the Braves did something yesterday.
Yes, they did. Clintack, outfielder, Marco Gonzalez, and Devin White. A five-player deal with the Mariners.
It always seems like they're doing something to try to make their team better.
Yeah, and who owns them? Us. And then for us, like Joey, you were saying closer. I'll send it to you guys. The article, Emmanuel Clace, if I'm saying it, the Cleveland Guardians. Excuse me. Closer. Make a trade. I think I sent it to you, and if I didn't, I'll send it to you. Make a trade for him. I'm all for it because Hader's going to want mad money. So let's do something like that. And Rosarena is linked up to the Seattle Mariners. What do you think about that?
Who?
Randy Azarena.
Okay.
The Rays outfielder. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't mind the Philly. Like I got one here. It says Dombrowski says the Phillies are exploring and are trying to be open-minded with players that can improve the club around the edges. So I was kind of hoping that maybe we would try to sign another legit starter, but it sounds like the Phillies are just looking for, after the big move they made was Aaron Nola.
Right.
And then supposedly they're in, they're going to start talks on an extension for Zach Wheeler because Zach Wheeler's a free agent at the end of this year. So they want to possibly, try to work something out with him. So yeah, Sean, I mean, like the Phillies, if there's any Phillies news, it probably might be an extra bullpen arm, maybe an outfielder. Because I was reading possibly outfielders because they might want Rojas to start the year in AAA because my man's a great fielder, but he can't hit for shit. He was a spark for last season. He needs to become a legit major leaguer now.
Mm-hmm. Would you guys be willing to get trade for Soda? I'm sorry, Soda.
I'd be down to trade for Soda if we could.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly the Yankees the Yankees have been talking to San Diego, and as they should. San Diego's asking for 5 blue chip prospects plus a few other pieces, and Soto,
we ain't doing that.
Right, and Soto.
We don't have it.
Right, and Soto also, he's not willing to give up his free agency. So it's not like if you're going to give up all them prospects and then have him possibly leave in a year, I don't see the Phillies doing that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's some but we'll obviously we'll see what happens with in the upcoming weeks with the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to give a shout out real quick. Flyers have been playing some decent hockey.
Yes, they have.
The other night they beat Pittsburgh, and tonight they played Pittsburgh again. It's a huge rivalry game. I know we don't talk a lot about Flyers here, but I got to give them some kudos. They're playing some really good hockey, and hopefully they can beat the Penguins again tonight.
John Tortorella said it the best. This Flyers team, he's like, we got balls. They asked him how they won the game today. He said, we got balls. It seems like there are a bunch of kids that are just playing hard. You know what I mean? When you get a bunch of kids to play hard and grind, and hockey, you got to grind out wins.
They're playing with each other, not against each other. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. When you guys
some
play
talent,
together,
though. Dude, Tyson Forster hit a slap shot the other day. I'm pretty sure it was against the Penguins to put him up on a power play, and it was just dirty. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen shots like that in the Flyers in so long.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
So I mean, Hey, listen, maybe this team, I mean, none of us really believe this team's going anywhere, and they are in the rebuilding stages. But the Russian kid is killing it over there. Gutier, the first round pick from last year, I got the pregame show on. They showed Forrester ripped one, dude. He's got
You see that? You see that? That is that shot.
That was against the Penguins, yeah.
And I was like, damn, like when was the last time we had a player that has that kind of shot?
Friggin' sniper. You know? So like I said, shout out to the Flyers. And then I wanted to get one thing about the Sixers too, real quick. Little Sixers, last week, really disappointing. I mean, the New Orleans game and the Boston game, no Embiid, guys were sick. I mean, it was hard to, I know Pat Bev had a big game on Friday. Some of the reserves played well, but you knew they weren't winning.
But they did hard. It looked like they had a chance to win at one point in that game.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Tatum gets ejected. Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, man. It's I mean, you can't control if dudes are going to get sick, obviously, but it's just the NBA regular season gets so disappointing sometimes because it's like I was looking forward to seeing a measuring stick game versus Boston, and then you watch it and like nobody plays. You know what I'm saying?
And now you only got one game left against Boston, like in so long.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, Dave Yarnell says, "Hey Diego, the Flyers actually won a shootout versus the Penguins." Wow, yeah,
it's their second shootout victory this year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they beat the Islanders. They beat the Islanders like a week and a half ago.
Man, remember when every time Flyers go to the shootout for the last 5 years, you're like, it's a loss. They could turn that around.
Yeah, Maurice Wright with the Sixers comment here. He says, I feel the Sixers prove they can beat Boston without Embiid and Maxey. The defensive effort is old man terrible. Aggression is so absent. Someone has to get it. Oubre makes a difference. Yeah, and that's actually why I wanted to talk a little Sixers, because Oubre supposedly is possibly coming back on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah, he got reevaluated. Yeah.
My man healed quick, bro.
Well, that's what happens when the invisible person hits you and takes your ribs out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Stop it. That was my.
They could use Oubre, and
yeah, they can.
So we'll see what happens there. I know the Sixers that's play-in tournament. The Sixers didn't make that. I could care less. I don't give a shit about the play-in tournament, so it doesn't matter.
It's a joke. You don't have to see that horrendous court, man. Colorblind, man. All that red and blue. Come on, man. So I think Farsi said it best. Put it in black and white.
Yeah. So all right. So here's Sixers this week. Wednesday they're at Washington. Washington is absolutely freaking.
Yeah, they're horrible. Jordan Poole's trash.
Yeah. Washington's terrible. They're trash. The Hawks at home, the Hawks. Eddie Prather with a comment here. He says, if Dallas isn't back, if Dallas Goddard isn't back, Dallas probably wins. I mean that's a tough one. But all right, so we got at Washington, host the Hawks on Friday, and then Washington. How are the Sixers doing in the next three? What's our record?
That's probably 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0.
I think so too, as long as our guys play, and
yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, because you know what it is. I mean, I'm looking right here. Obviously it's kind of early, but let me look at the standings right here. Because I want to at least finish in the top three. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sixers. So the Sixers right now are actually fourth. Are the Orlando Magic finally pretty decent? They're 9-1 in their last 10, 14-6. Or do you think that's an anomaly?
I think they're pretty decent. I don't know if they're 3-seed decent, but they're a playoff team, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, they've been tanking even longer than the Sixers. I remember the Magic started tanking back in like 2011, and they've always pretty much, they mostly sucked all that time.
Yeah, you can only be bad for so long while drafting at the top of the draft every year. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually you're going to get some guys together that can play. And I think Banchero's a beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Panchero is, yeah. And then you got the whose son plays on that team, Joey?
Anthony?
Well, no, Anthony's son.
Greg Anthony's son.
Greg Anthony's son, yeah. Cole Anthony.
Yeah. Okay, Cole Anthony. Okay, but go ahead, Joey.
All right, so I got the Eastern Conference standings here. You got Boston 15-4, Magic are 14-6, 1.5 out. Bucks are 14-6, 1.5 out, and then you got the Sixers 12-7. Well, here we go. Got Sixers 12-7, Knicks 12-7. So, John Michael with a Sixers comment. He said we might have another mystery illness. I've never seen a young team get sick as much as Sixers players do.
Yeah.
They got the itis.
Yeah, they sure do. Well, remember, Sixers. Make sure you wash your hands and don't rub your eyes. It helps with not spreading germs. Okay. Eileen C says hi guys. Hey Eileen, thanks for checking
Hello.
us in. And I apologize that you have to watch. Unfortunately, that Jets team. I know it must be tough watching Tim Boyle and Simeon. Paul Spencer here. He says Kelly Oubre called 1-800-HURT-123 and asked if he could have a case versus the Invisible Man for personal injury claim. So
anything's possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna wrap this up here. Hopefully by the time we talk next week, the Eagles have a big win. Hopefully I'm not stuck wearing a Dallas jersey in the next couple weeks. So go Birds. Hopefully our Sixers stop getting sick, because that would be kind of nice to actually watch like a full team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be kind of cool, because I mean, hey, I love Pat Bev and I like some of the bench guys, but I want to watch our real guys go. So
yeah, true.
So all right, everybody. Well, look, go Birds,
go Birds,
Sixers, and you know what? Hey, man, go Flyers, because I know they're trying to quote unquote tank, and maybe it doesn't make sense to win. But you know what, though? The Russian kid should be a superstar coming over in a couple years. And right now, I'd rather just establish a culture, and I still think they'll get a good draft pick. So it's all good.
Hockey's a lot about that. Having a good culture. You can have a lot of good players. You got to have a good culture. So I think Tortorella is definitely building a good culture. And like you said, the young kid coming over, we'll pick up some other guys. We'll be all right.
All right, man. All right, well, go Birds, go Flyers, go Sixers, and see you all next week.
Beat Dallas, baby.
Peace out.